It's a curious thing, isn't it? You reach a certain age, maybe past that big 6-0 or even the 7-0 mark, and you start noticing things. Maybe it's in yourself, or perhaps it's in friends, neighbors, or family members who are around your age or a little older. Some folks seem to keep going strong, full of energy, sharp as a tack, enjoying life to the fullest well into their late 80s, 90s, and even beyond. They're still traveling, still pursuing hobbies, still completely independent. But then you see others, maybe even people who seemed healthy just a few years ago, and they seem to decline quite quickly. Their energy fades, their memory gets fuzzy, their mobility becomes a challenge. They might find themselves less independent, needing more help, and sadly, sometimes their health just gives out sooner than anyone expected. It can be a painful reality to witness or even to experience the first subtle signs of it yourself. This isn't about predicting anyone's exact lifespan, of course. Life has its own unpredictable path. But there's a reason why the average life expectancy statistics often show a significant drop-off or increase in chronic health issues around a certain age, sometimes cited as the early 80s. It's not just random chance for everyone. There are underlying factors, some perhaps you haven't even considered, that contribute to this decline for many people. It feels unfair, doesn't it? Like you've done everything right, lived a good life, and suddenly things get harder. But here's the secret, or perhaps not a secret, but something often overlooked or misunderstood. A large part of how well and how long we live isn't solely determined by our genes or pure luck, especially after 60. There are simple, often surprising habits and even certain foods that play a profound role in building resilience in our bodies and minds, helping us push back against those common declines. Things like losing muscle mass, struggling with sleep, experiencing memory lapses, or dealing with digestive issues that seem to creep up with age. These aren't inevitable parts of aging for everyone. They are often consequences of lifestyle factors that we actually have quite a bit of control over. This isn't about finding a magic cure or promising you'll live forever, but it is about unlocking the potential for many more years of quality life, full of energy, independence, and sharp thinking. In this video, we're going to look at some of these surprisingly simple yet incredibly powerful habits, and even some specific types of foods that can make a world of difference. We'll talk about how to build and keep that crucial muscle, how to finally get that restful sleep you've been missing, how to keep your memory sharp and prevent it from slipping away, improve your digestion so you feel better day to day, and so much more. These aren't complicated or expensive things. They're foundational pieces of well-being that become even more important as we age. Stick with me, and you might discover something that not only helps you live longer, but helps you live better, with more vitality and joy in your later years. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you and hopefully leave you feeling incredibly empowered. Let's start with perhaps one of the most overlooked aspects of healthy aging, something that has a massive impact on our strength, our mobility, our metabolism, and even our cognitive function, maintaining muscle mass. Now you might think, muscle, I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder, and you don't have to be. But as we age, typically starting in our 40s and accelerating after 60, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass and strength, a process called sarcopenia. If you're not actively working to preserve it, this loss can become quite significant. Why does this matter so much? Well, less muscle means less strength, which makes everyday tasks harder. Getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries. This loss of strength directly impacts your independence. It also increases your risk of falls, and falls can be incredibly serious for older adults, sometimes leading to injuries that are difficult to recover from, and can significantly shorten healthy lifespan or reduce quality of life dramatically. But it's more than just strength and falls. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It helps regulate your blood sugar levels. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down, which can lead to weight gain, especially around the middle, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Healthy muscle also supports your joints, which can help reduce aches and pains. And surprisingly, recent research suggests that muscle health is linked to brain health. Muscles release substances that can positively impact brain function and mood. So, keeping your muscles strong isn't just about being able to lift things. It's fundamental to your overall health and your ability to maintain a high quality of life as you age. So, what can you do about it? The good news is, you can absolutely build and maintain muscle mass at any age, even if you've never lifted a weight in your life. It's called strength training or resistance training. And before you picture crowded gyms and heavy barbells, let me assure you, it can be much simpler than that. Starting small is key. You can begin right at home with just your own body weight. Simple exercises like standing up from a chair without using your hands are essentially squats. Doing push-ups against a wall works your chest and arms. Lifting your heels while holding onto a counter works your calf muscles. Even just walking regularly, especially if you incorporate some inclines, helps maintain leg strength. Once you're comfortable with bodyweight exercises, you can add light resistance. You don't need fancy equipment. Cans of soup, bottles of water, or resistance bands are perfect for starting. You can do bicep curls with soup cans, shoulder presses with water bottles, or use a resistance band for leg exercises. The idea is to challenge your muscles gently so they have to work. You should aim to do some form of strength training 2-3 times a week, making sure to give your muscles a day off in between to recover and rebuild. When you're doing an exercise, try to do 8 to 12 repetitions. You should feel your muscles getting a bit tired towards the end of those repetitions, but you should still be able to complete them with good form. If it feels too easy, you can gradually increase the number of repetitions, the weight you're using, maybe switch from soup cans to slightly heavier items, or find a slightly more challenging variation of the exercise. For example, wall push-ups are easier than knee push-ups, which are easier than full push-ups. You progress at your own pace. It's also incredibly helpful to find a program or a guide designed specifically for older adults. Many community centers offer gentle exercise classes. There are also fantastic resources online with videos demonstrating safe and effective exercises. If you have any health concerns, it's always a good idea to check with your doctor before starting a new exercise program. But the main point is, you can do this, and it will make a significant difference in how you feel and what you're capable of. You're not just maintaining muscle, you're building strength, resilience, and preserving your independence. Now, closely related to building and maintaining muscle, and vital for overall health, is getting enough protein in your diet. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein to build and repair muscle. This means that older adults actually need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults just to maintain the muscle they have. If you're also trying to build muscle through strength training, your protein needs are even higher. Many older adults simply don't eat enough protein, or they don't distribute it throughout the day. Thinking back to the idea of maintaining independence and vitality well into your 80s and beyond, ensuring you're getting enough of this essential building block is absolutely critical. What does enough protein look like? A general guideline for older adults is to aim for about 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's roughly 75 to 105 grams of protein spread throughout the day. Don't worry about counting every single gram perfectly, but try to include a source of protein at every meal and snack. Good sources include lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese, beans, lentils, tofu, nuts, and seeds. For example, breakfast could include eggs or yogurt. Lunch might be a sandwich with chicken or tuna, or a salad with chickpeas. Dinner could be fish, chicken, or a lentil stew. Snacks could be a handful of nuts, a piece of cheese, or a small container of yogurt. Making a conscious effort to include protein with each eating occasion helps ensure your body has a steady supply of the amino acids it needs to repair and build muscle tissue, especially after you've done some strength exercises. Combining strength training with adequate protein intake is a powerful duo for fighting sarcopenia and keeping you strong and active. Beyond strength and protein, another area that profoundly impacts how we feel, our energy levels, our mood, and our ability to think clearly is sleep. Many older adults struggle with sleep, whether it's difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early. And while it's true that sleep patterns can change with age, chronic poor sleep is not something you just have to accept. Lack of quality sleep impacts everything. It impairs cognitive function, making it harder to concentrate and remember things. It affects our mood, making us more irritable or prone to feeling down. It weakens our immune system, making us more susceptible to getting sick. It even impacts our physical health, contributing to issues like high blood pressure and making it harder to manage blood sugar. Getting enough restorative sleep is just as crucial as diet and exercise for living well in your later years. So, how can you improve your sleep? It often comes down to establishing good sleep habits, sometimes called sleep hygiene. First, try to stick to a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Go to bed and wake up around the same time each day. This helps regulate your body's internal clock. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. This might include reading a book, taking a warm bath, listening to calm music, or doing some gentle stretching. Avoid stimulating activities close to bedtime, like watching exciting television shows or getting into stressful discussions. Limit exposure to screens, phones, tablets, computers, TVs, in the hour or two before bed, as the blue light they emit can interfere with sleep signals. Your sleep environment matters too. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Blackout curtains or an eye mask can help block out light. Earplugs or a white noise machine can help if noise is an issue. Consider your mattress and pillows. Are they still supportive and comfortable? Think about what you eat and drink before bed. Avoid heavy meals, alcohol, and caffeine close to bedtime. While a glass of wine might make you feel sleepy initially, it often disrupts sleep later in the night. Caffeine, even in the afternoon, can make it hard to fall asleep for some people. If you're someone who needs a snack before bed, choose something light that's easy to digest. What about naps? Short naps of 20-30 minutes in the early afternoon can be refreshing, but longer or later naps can make it harder to sleep at night. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, you might try skipping naps or keeping them very short and early. Finally, if you find yourself lying in bed awake for more than about 20 minutes, get up. Leave the bedroom and do something quiet and relaxing in dim light until you feel sleepy. Then return to bed. The goal is to avoid associating your bedroom with frustration and wakefulness. Persistent sleep problems should always be discussed with your doctor, as they could be related to underlying health conditions or medications. But often, implementing these simple sleep hygiene practices can make a world of difference in getting the restful sleep your body and mind need. Now that we've discussed the importance of strength, protein, and sleep, let's talk about something else that worries many people as they age: memory and cognitive function. We all forget things from time to time, and that's normal. But significant memory loss or difficulty with thinking and decision-making can be incredibly distressing, and certainly impacts independence and quality of life. Just like our muscles need exercise to stay strong, our brains need stimulation to stay sharp. The phrase "use it or lose it" definitely applies to brain health. So how do you keep your brain active and resilient? Learning new things is one of the best ways to create new connections in the brain and strengthen existing ones. It doesn't matter what it is: learning a new language, how to play a musical instrument, a new craft like knitting or painting, or even just taking a class on a subject that interests you. Stepping outside your comfort zone and engaging in activities that require focus and effort is fantastic for your brain. Reading is another excellent way to keep your mind stimulated. Whether it's fiction, nonfiction, newspapers, or magazines, reading challenges your brain to process information, understand narratives, and expand your vocabulary. Puzzles, crosswords, Sudoku, and brain training apps can also be helpful. But the key is to find activities you genuinely enjoy and that feel challenging but not frustrating. Social interaction is also surprisingly important for cognitive health. Conversations, group activities, and staying connected with friends and family all provide mental stimulation and can help reduce stress and improve mood, which are also factors in brain health. Another crucial and often overlooked aspect of cognitive health is diet. What you eat has a significant impact on your brain. Certain nutrients are particularly important. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, as well as in walnuts and flax seeds, are vital for brain structure and function. Antioxidants found in brightly colored fruits and vegetables like berries, leafy greens, and broccoli help protect brain cells from damage. Foods rich in B vitamins like whole grains, leafy greens, and lean proteins are also important for brain health and nerve function. Consider incorporating foods that are part of the Mediterranean diet, which has been linked to better cognitive function in older adults. This includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, olive oil as the main source of fat, and fish a couple of times a week. with moderate amounts of poultry and dairy and less red meat and sweets. It's not about strict rules, but about focusing on nutrient-dense whole foods that nourish your brain. Staying well hydrated is also essential for brain function. Even mild dehydration can affect concentration and memory. Make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day. Digestive health is another area that can impact how we feel and our overall well-being as we age. Many older adults experience digestive issues like constipation, bloating, or indigestion. A healthy digestive system is crucial, not only for comfortable daily living, but also because it plays a key role in nutrient absorption and even immune function. The gut microbiome, the community of trillions of bacteria living in your digestive tract, is also increasingly being linked to mood and overall health. One of the simplest and most effective ways to improve digestive health is to ensure you're getting enough fiber. Fiber adds bulk to your stool, which helps prevent constipation and promotes regular bowel movements. It also acts as food for the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Good sources of fiber include fruits, especially with the skin on, vegetables, whole grains like oats, barley, and whole wheat bread, beans, lentils, nuts, and seeds. Try to gradually increase your fiber intake to avoid bloating and gas initially. Aim for around 25-30 grams of fiber per day. Drinking enough water is also essential for fiber to work effectively and to keep things moving smoothly through your digestive system. Physical activity can also help with digestion. Moving your body helps stimulate the muscles in your digestive tract. Even a gentle walk after a meal can be beneficial. Pay attention to what foods seem to bother your digestion and try to limit them. Some people become more sensitive to certain foods like dairy or rich, fatty foods as they get older. Eating meals at regular times and not rushing through them can also aid digestion. Taking the time to chew your food thoroughly helps too. Beyond fiber and hydration, incorporating foods that contain probiotics and prebiotics can support a healthy gut microbiome. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria found in fermented foods like yogurt with live and active cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi. Prebiotics are types of fiber that feed these beneficial bacteria. They are found in foods like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, and oats. Including a variety of these foods in your diet can help maintain a healthy balance of gut bacteria, which is important for digestion and overall health. If digestive issues persist or are severe, it's important to consult a doctor to rule out any underlying medical conditions. These are just a few examples of simple yet powerful changes you can make. We've talked about the critical role of maintaining muscle through strength training and adequate protein intake, the profound impact of getting good sleep on both body and mind, and the importance of keeping your brain sharp through learning and nourishing foods, as well as supporting a healthy digestive system. Each of these areas, when addressed, contributes significantly to preventing the common declines that can limit independence and quality of life in later years. They help build that resilience we talked about, that ability to bounce back and keep living fully. Remember, this isn't about turning your life upside down or striving for perfection. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time. Start with just one or two things. Maybe it's adding a few minutes of strength exercises with soup cans a couple of times a week. Maybe it's making a conscious effort to include a protein source at every meal. Perhaps it's focusing on getting to bed and waking up at the same time each day, or adding more colorful fruits and vegetables to your plate. The surprising thing I wanted you to watch until the end for, it's how interconnected all these things are and how much power you truly have. You might think memory loss is just bad luck, but it's linked to sleep quality, physical activity levels, and what you eat. You might think feeling tired is just old age, but it's often a sign of poor sleep, lack of physical activity that builds energy, or not getting enough protein and other nutrients. You might think aches and pains are inevitable, but building muscle supports joints, and reducing inflammation through diet can help too. The most surprising thing is often realizing that many of the issues that people fear in their later years are not simply fate, but are influenced by daily choices, small, manageable choices that you can start making today. It's never too late to start making a difference in your own health trajectory. Living a vibrant, independent life well into your 80s and beyond is a very achievable goal for many people, and it starts with empowering yourself with knowledge and taking small, consistent action. Don't let the fear of declining health dictate your future. Instead, focus on building a stronger, sharper, more resilient you day by day. I hope this has been helpful and perhaps given you a new perspective on aging and the power you have over your own health and well-being. What resonated most with you? What small change might you try to make starting today? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might help others too. If you found this video valuable, please give it a like. It helps other people who need this information find it. And if you want more practical tips and encouraging advice for living your best life at every age, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching and for investing in yourself. Remember, you have the power to shape your later years. Live your best life at every age.